veto power today.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here in City Hall. The December 3rd, 2018 City Council meeting of the full City Council will come to order. It's 2:05 p.m. I'm Bruce Harrell, President of the Council. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Johnson. Mosqueda.
Here.
O'Brien.
Here.
Bagshaw. Herbold.
Here.
And President Harrell.
Here.
5 present.
Thank you very much. If there's no objection, Councilmember Johnson will be excused from today's meeting. Hearing no objection, Councilmember Johnson is excused. I did want to say for our viewing audience, we do have a council of 9, but we actually have 3 excused absences and a sick council member. And so this is good as it's going to get today with the 5 of us. So thank you for being here. If there's no objection, the introduction referral calendar will be adopted. Hearing no objection, the introduction referral calendar is adopted. If there's no objection, today's agenda will be adopted. Hearing no objection, today's agenda is adopted. The minutes of the November 19th and 26th, 2018 City Council meetings have been reviewed, and if there's no objection, the minutes will be signed. Hearing no objection, the minutes are being signed.
Councilmember Johnson's.
Okay. Oh. Okay, presentations. Well, I'm excited to give a presentation, even if Councilmember Johnson couldn't rise out of the bed to give it. We have Bryant Elementary School representatives to here, and I recognize the school board member Jill Gary here. Thank you for joining us, Board Member Gary. Always working hard for your constituents, I see, and I know. Let me read this. And again, Councilmember Johnson presented it this morning, and he was quite under the weather, so thanks for him coming in. But let me read the proclamation, and just for our young students here to realize that the proclamation becomes part of our permanent record in addition to being on television. It goes into our sort of archiving system, and so we think it's a tremendous opportunity to recognize, of course, what I'll say is Bicentennial. I'm going to say it a few times because I think that's sort of cool. So let me read the proclamation that is truly signed by all 9 council members. Whereas Bryant Elementary is celebrating its centennial anniversary as an engaging learning community located in the Ravenna-Bryant neighborhood of Northeast Seattle. And whereas since it began serving the community as a Seattle public school in 1918, it has been a vibrant neighborhood institution that works hard to provide a safe, positive, welcoming, and nurturing learning environment for its students. And whereas the first Bryant School on the present school grounds was built in December 1918 and was named for William Cullen Bryant, who was a 19th century writer and patron of arts and letters. And whereas Bryant teaches, models, and encourages a love of learning, collaboration, and a compassion for others. And whereas throughout its long history, Bryant has been known for its excellent teachers, school staff, and the commitment of its volunteer corps. And whereas Bryant is known for its science and art programs, annual drama productions, and many after-school activities, including the competitive chess club, and now the disbanded Barn Swingers, a student square dancing team that performed for audience at the 1962 World's Fair. And whereas Bryant has a strong history and culture of promoting students and families to walk and bike to school. And whereas Bryant believes in an inclusive model of academic excellence, we're highlighting the individual needs of learners as evidence for all students. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor of Seattle and the full Seattle City Council that Thursday, December 13th, 2018 is Bryant Elementary Centennial Day. And the crowd goes, yay! And I would like to have Principal Marshall, who I just understand is just doing a phenomenal job, and Bryant family members and joining us in the audience and being here with us. And I'll, if there's no objection, I'll suspend the rules, and we'll love to hear from our guests.
Good.
And while you're walking up to the microphone, Principal Marshall and kids, I just want to say thank you to Kevin Gallagher and Mr. Anderson. They once a year or so come down and talk to us, bring the kindergartners down, and we just love seeing them.
And they will be back.
Good.
Thank you very much, President Harrell and the rest of the Seattle City Council. My name is Charmaine Marshall, and I'm really honored to be the new principal at Bryant Elementary this year. I have a few of our awesome students, and they're going to just say hi and thank you. You can introduce yourselves and go from there.
Hi, my name is Andrew Day. My mom's a 5th grade teacher here. Hi, I'm Sarah Day, and my mom's also a 5th grade teacher here.
All right, Ian.
Hello, my name is Ian Fogg.
Thank you.
And our future Bryant student.
Freedom of speech.
We have a future Bryant student, but we want to thank you all very much for this honor, and we'll be having our bicentennial celebrations on the 13th, so you are more than welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, kids. Thank you, Board Member Carey. Okay, I'm going to filibuster here for a while before I read public comment section. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Get those to school. And we have at this time the opportunity to take public comment on items that appear on today's agenda, the introduction referral calendar, and the city's 2000 work program. And public comment is generally accepted for 20 minutes, and speakers are limited to 2 minutes of public comment. And if a speaker's comment exceeds the 2 minutes, the clerk will turn off the microphone. And we ask that you begin by identifying yourself and the item with which you'd like to address. Having said that, we have 2 speakers. We'll start off with Mr. Alex Zimmerman, followed by Scott Anderson.
Dear Heil, my lovely consul, a Nazi garbage rats, a dirty anti-Semite, small town crooks. I will speak for myself and for this small boy, 2-year-old, for my understanding, what is future of America. Because future of America right now, very dark for me. Because
Council
Nazi
President,
pig like this.
Council President, I would like to object to
You cannot interrupt me. This against
the
Open
continuing
Public Meeting
kind
Act.
of comments that we hear
I
from
want to
Mr.
speak
Zimmerman.
about here, what is in agenda.
I would like
Give
him
me
to
chance
speak about something that's on the record and is in front of us, and not constantly
So you
coming up
go
with...
give me another trespass right now for 6 months. Give me a chance
I
to
assume
speak. I want
that
to speak
you
about
find his
here.
behavior disruptive, Councilmember Bexell?
His behavior today and this morning continues to be disruptive. He knows the rules. If he's going to speak, he should speak on something that is on the agenda.
Agenda, I
and he
want
is
to
not.
speak about agenda. Give
Okay,
me
so
chance.
his time has been stopped. Mr. Zimmerman, you've been warned that your behavior is disruptive, so I ask that you speak to the agenda, our work plan, or matters on today's agenda. So,
Exactly, that's exactly what is I want.
so
I want
go
to
ahead.
speak, and I always speak about
So go ahead.
I'm
Go
always,
ahead and start
okay.
the clock. You're on, sir.
Yes, okay, no problema. I always speak about agenda. So today, you appoint a people for Immigrant and Refugee Commission. So, situation very simple. I come 10 years here, speak more than 2,000 times. I'm have 6 elections, 2 for U.S. Senator, and for 10 years, I try to be a member of any committee what is accept me, and nobody accept me. So my question right now very simple. What is your goal? Are you scared? So Alex Zimmerman, one come in talking about this, give me 9 trespasses. You give me 9 trespasses for 930 days, but
Still
nobody
haven't heard what's
accept
on
me for
the
commission.
agenda.
Why? Why you don't accept me for commission? This exactly what is I talking about.
So your
Gender-
trespasses are not part of our work plan, Mr. Zimmerman.
So I don't
when I
understand.
speak, you could stop
so you
the
don't,
clock.
You're
Go ahead.
scared, so
Please
I come.
proceed.
Yeah, I don't understand why you want from me. So I go out for another 6 months trespass?
Good idea.
Yes?
Stop the clock. If you're asking me what would I like from you, I don't think you'd want to know what I'd like from you, sir. So
No, 9
just go ahead and
trespasses you give
start
me
us-
for
start
930
us
days. How
time.
many you need? 930 days. Nobody in America have this. Nobody. Why you doing this? Why?
What do you have? What are you speaking to? What item on the
I
agenda?
spoken about this immigrant, so I try go member of this committee a few times, and nobody accept me. Can I spoke about this? You Nazi pig.
Thank you, sir. And our next speaker will be Scott Anderson.
One man fucking scared this 9 years.
Good afternoon, Council.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for hearing me out, Mr. O'Brien. Say, I'm Scott Anderson. I'm a co-founder of CSR Marine. We're a large boatyard in Seattle. We've been in Seattle for 43 years. We employ 50 people down on Shoal Shoal Avenue. And this is about the missing link. We all want to get that problem solved, but we feel that it's so dangerous on Shoal Shoal because of the 55 driveways, the industrial driveways that are there. We believe that the better choice is Leary, where it's very safe, it's very wide. There's not a lot of industrial driveways there. We have large semi-trucks that come into our facility that are 100 feet long. If the driveway is put in and the height is put in, that'll stop that business right there. There are a couple thousand good jobs on Shoal Shoal. And if that trail goes in, that'll completely disrupt that. There's no public transportation, so my guys need a place to park. And that parking would go away. We're going to lose 430 parking spaces. The cost of the trail is pretty expensive, and Leary is just a better choice. And here is some signatures that you guys have been, you have this. I'll leave you with this for you to read, but it's really important that we save Shoal Shoal Industrial District. It's sort of the last districts in Seattle that we really have. It seems like the city of Seattle likes to push all the business out instead of, embracing it, because we pay taxes and we have a lot of good jobs and we have insurance for our guys. And these guys have kids. They have car payments. They have house payments. And if they're to lose their job, where are they going to go? And we have to be on the water. Like Salmon Bay Sand and Gravel, they need to be on the water because of the barges of aggregate and stuff that come in to keep that company going. Good jobs. Please consider moving that trail to Leary.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you for your
Anderson.
time.
Thank you for your testimony. That concludes our public comment section, and so we will move to payment of the bill. So please read the title.
Council Bill 119411, an ordinance appropriating money to pay certain audited claims and ordering the payment thereof.
Okay, I'll move to pass Council Bill 119411. It's been moved and seconded that the bill pass. Are there any comments? If not, please call the roll on the passage of the bill.
Mosqueda.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Bagshaw.
Aye.
Herbold.
Aye.
And President Harrell.
Aye.
5 in favor, none opposed.
Bill passed and the chair will sign it. Thank you. Please read the first agenda item.
The report of the City Council, Agenda Item 1, Resolution 31857, a resolution granting conceptual approval of a significant structure term permit to Seattle Arena Company, LLC, to construct, maintain, and operate a tunnel under and across Thomas Street, east of 1st Avenue North and west of Warren Avenue North, to enable the renovation of KeyArena at the Seattle Center, introduced November 26, 2018.
Thank you very much. I'll sort of introduce the matter, and if any of my colleagues has anything to add, please just sort of jump in. So this is a resolution. As you may recall, we had a select committee on civic arenas meeting just this morning to sort of talk about it. It, in short, gives a conceptual approval for what's called a significant structure term permit to the Seattle Arena Company. And I think if you're following the news at all, we know that what's happening at KeyArena is an exciting project, and this basically allows the developers and the city to proceed down a path of conceptual approval for a tunnel that will be used for the final structure. There will be another ordinance forthcoming, tentatively scheduled around the first quarter of next year, that will actually be the permit part of the process. And between then and now, the city will be involved in the development of that with the Seattle Arena Company, LLC. So basically, again, it's just a conceptual approval to keep going down that path. And as one of the co-chairs of the Civic Arena Committee, we recommend approval of the resolution. Any questions or comments? I'm going to have to make an amendment to it. It's just a technical amendment, but I'll do that in a second unless there's any questions. Any questions on the base resolution? No? Go ahead, Councilmember Bagshaw.
I want to tell you how supportive I am of this. Thank you all for being here. all four of my colleagues. Thank you to those of you who have been working on this for over a year and a half. I'm very pleased that our neighborhood has come together. The work that Oakview Group has done to reach out to the neighbors in Uptown and Belltown and Queen Anne, South Lake Union, this is going to make a big difference. So I appreciate the fact that you're moving forward. I believe tomorrow we are hoping to hear from the NHL Board of Governors. Is the event in the morning open to the public? So tomorrow morning, I believe at 8 o'clock in the morning, there is going to be a get-together of hopeful hockey fans in South Lake Union at Henry's Tavern. And as I understand, it's open to the public. I'm intending to be there. Nothing like starting your morning off in a bar, but I'll be there at 8 o'clock.
Thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to move to amend Resolution 31857 by substituting the fourth recital with the following language entitled, quote, whereas on November 2nd, 2018, Oakview Group, LLC, and Seattle Arena Company, LLC, entered into an agreement titled Assignment and Assumption of Seattle Center Arena Project Permits and Approvals, by which Seattle Arena Company, LLC, was assigned and assumed Oakview Group, LLC's rights and obligations related to Oakview Group, LLC's application for a significant structure term permit, and, in a quote, and basically, I guess you have to be a lawyer to understand what's going on there, but we're just substituting the correct names of the parties as a technical correction as we discussed this morning in committee. Any questions on the amendment? We're just going to vote on the amendment. I will move that amendment.
Second.
All those in favor of the amendment, please vote aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. And I think we have an amended resolution, and I could just do that as a resolution. All those in favor of the resolution as amended, please vote aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. I think it was unanimous, and the chair will sign it. And please read the next agenda item into the record.
The report of the Civil Rights, Utilities, Economic Development, and Arts Committee, Agenda Item 2, Council Bill 119408, an ordinance relating to the Office of Arts and Culture, authorizing the Director of the Office of Arts and Culture to set fees and charge for all cultural spaces owned or operated by the Office of Arts and Culture, and amending Seattle Municipal Code, Section 3.14.815. The committee recommends that City Council pass the bill.
Okay. Before Councilman Herbold begins, on that last piece of legislation, did I do everything properly? I saw you guys sort of look at each other. Was I supposed to do a hand vote or something, or are we okay? Okay. Okay, we're good. Okay, Councilmember Herbold. See, we're all in sync here. I got sixth sense when I mess up.
Council Bill 119408 authorizes the Office of Arts and Culture to set fees and charges for all cultural spaces that are within their ownership or authority. Currently, the Seattle Municipal Code limits the authority of the Office of Arts and Culture to set fees only at Langston Hughes Performing Arts Facility. This removes that restriction and allows them to set fees at other facilities. The only one that they're looking to do at this stage is the King Street Station, and this would allow them to do so.
Any questions on this ordinance? Okay, if not, please call the roll on the passage of the bill.
Mosqueda.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Bagshaw.
Aye.
Herbold.
Aye.
And President Harrell.
Aye.
5 in favor, none opposed.
The bill passed and chair will sign it. Please read agenda items 3 through 5.
Agenda items 3 through 5, appointments 1170 through 1172, the reappointments of Jerry Everard, Charlize J. Metcalf, and Reese Tanamura as members, Seattle Music Commission, for terms to August 31st, 2021. The committee recommends the appointments be confirmed.
Councilmember Herbold.
Thank you. These folks are all reappointments to the Music Commission, and the appointing authority for all three of these reappointments is the City Council. Jerry Everard is a founder of the Crocodile Cafe, Moe's, which later became New Moe's, and has gone on to launch a number of other venues. He has served on the board of directors for the Vera Project, One Reel and Bumbershoot, and the Capitol Hill Housing Foundation 12th Avenue Arts Steering Committee. Charlize Metcalf was host of the KEXP show Audio Oasis from 2009 until September of this year, and she currently serves as an education coordinator, serves on the Northwest Film Forum Board, and continues to work as a DJ. Reese Tanamura serves as chair of the Music Commission, also the managing director at Northwest Folklight, previous program director for the Rain City Rock Camp, and has, in 2008, has been music director of the Rain City Jazz Orchestra, as well as holding numerous music education positions.
Very good. Thank you very much. Any questions of these appointments? If not, all those in favor of confirming the appointments, please vote aye. Aye. Those opposed vote no. The motion carries and appointments are confirmed. Please read the next committee report.
The report of the Gender Equity, Safe Communities, New Americans, and Education Committee, agenda items 6 through 15, appointments 1176 through 1184. The appointments of Mahani A. Abibi and Maya Bablopia as members, Seattle Immigrant and Refugee Commission, for terms to January 31st, 2019, and the appointments of Nahid G. Aftab, Maria Z. Flores, Vanessa Gutierrez, Eric Hossefeld, Ankita Patel, and Fariha Muhammad as members, Seattle Immigrant and Refugee Commission, for terms to January 31st, 2020, and the appointment of Shalani M. Vaniasinko and the reappointment of Reedy Mukhopadhyay as members, Seattle Immigrant and Refugee Commission, for terms to July 31st, 2019. The committee recommends the appointments be confirmed.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Mosqueda.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's my honor to be able to report on behalf of Councilmember Gonzalez from her committee, and I do want to just read into the record a little bit more about these individuals that you just heard read into the record. I apologize that I might mispronounce some of the names, as I have not had the chance to formally meet some of these individuals, so please note that apology, and it's not a reflection on their work and their incredible commitment to this effort. I just wanted to put that out there in advance. If I might, Mr. President, I'd like to read a little bit about appointments 6 through 15.
Excellent.
Madhati Abib is an attorney from Ethiopia and currently a doctoral student at the University of Washington School of Law. She has more than 10 years of experience in international development, academia, and the private sector. She has been a social justice advocate and blogger, and one of her proudest accomplishments was the institution of the Ethiopian National Women's Land Right Task Force, and she comes from District 4.
One quick addition.
Yes, please.
She's also an intern in my office.
Oh, amazing.
So for those of you who haven't met her, I can't say enough wonderful things about Medi.
Thank you, Councilmember. The next appointment is Maya Babla Afaya. She is currently a program manager with Microsoft's Global Talent Acquisition Team, working to recruit talented individuals from around the world. She previously worked for LinkedIn in San Francisco, where she consulted with Fortune 500 companies on their hiring strategies and supported the firm's refugee program called Welcome Talent. Since moving to Seattle in District 6, she has been working to grow the Pacific Northwest presence of Upwardly Global, which is a nonprofit supporting refugees and immigrants in landing professional jobs aligned with their skills. The next appointment is Shalani Vaniasinko, who immigrated from Sri Lanka with her family at the age of 14 and settled in Chandler, Arizona. She is now a resident of District 7. She earned her bachelor's in political science from Northern Arizona University and master's in global studies from Brandeis University. She currently works as a legal assistant at Amazon and has dedicated herself as a volunteer to many organizations, including Sound Generations, the Refugee Forum of King County Council, Council, and ACRS, which is Asian Counseling and Referral Services. The next appointment is Nahid Aftab, the Assistant Director at the University of Washington's Center of Communications, Difference, and Equity. She earned her BA and MA at the University of Washington, as well as a PhD in anthropology at the University of Minnesota. Her family immigrated from Afghanistan to the United States in 1989, and she is currently a resident of District 4. The next appointment is Maria Zepeda Flores, currently a graduate student at the University of Washington School of Public Policy and Governance. She is also currently working as a development organizer with the Washington Bus, shout out to the bus, and volunteer with the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, OIRA, shout out to OIRA, on their citizenship efforts. She received her bachelor's degree from Yale University and currently lives in District 5. The next appointment is Vanessa Gutierrez, who was born in Medellin, Colombia, before coming to the United States as an asylee, and now lives in District 5. Ms. Gutierrez has worked for the City of Seattle in the Department of Neighborhoods, as well as for the King County Executive's Office, and she is now employed by the Snohomish County Executive's Office. She expects to earn her bachelor's degree in law next year from the University of Pontificia Bolivariana in Colombia, and hopes to one day earn a master's degree in human rights and genocide studies. The next appointment is Eric Holtzepfel, immigrated from Ecuador to Kentucky and is now a resident of District 5. He is the program manager for the immigration program at Entre Hermanos, where he works to provide a broad array of needed services to the organization's clients. Previously, he served as co-chair of the Evans People of Color at the Evans School of Public Policy and Governance, as well as the president of Latin American Student Organization at the University of Kentucky. The next appointment is Ankita Patel. She is Zambian immigrant who came to Seattle in 2004 to attend the Seattle University School of Law and is now a resident of District 2. She has over 10 years of experience influencing policy and scaling programs to support immigrant communities. She is currently a program manager for the Immigrant Justice Program at the Washington State Coalition Against Domestic Violence. The second to last appointment is Fahira Mohammed, who is seeking a reappointment to the commission. She has over 10 years of experience working with Seattle immigrant and refugee communities through organizations such as REWA, Southwest Youth and Family Services, and she is fluent in Somali and currently pursuing her master's in social work at the University of Washington while residing in District 2. And the last appointment for today is Radihi Mukhopakaya, I'm sorry about the pronunciation, who is being reappointed to the commission, where she is currently serving as co-chair. Born in Kolkata, India, she earned her law degree from Seattle University, and she is now a resident of District 7. She is currently the legal director at the YWCA Sexual Violence Legal Services Program, and she's a former legal fellow and attorney at Northwest Immigrant Rights Project. Thank you all for your interest in serving and continuing your appointments or seeking appointments. We are so lucky to have you all, as you can tell by their impressive bios.
Thank you, Councilmember Mosqueda. Any comments before we vote? I would just make a closing comment on these fine applicants that just become critically, well, let me just say it in a positive way. I'm very happy we have this kind of talent right now on this particular commission, given the issues we are facing as a community and as a country. So this is the who's who of folks doing this kind of advocacy work, and I look forward to the leadership of Councilmember Gonzalez and others working with this commission. And having said that, those in favor of confirming the appointments, please vote aye. Aye. Those opposed vote no. The motion carries and the appointments are confirmed. Okay, that gets us through our agenda. Is there any further business to come before the council? Councilmember Herbold.
Thank you. I would like to ask to be excused on December 10th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Councilmember Herbold be excused for December 10th. Any comments? All those in favor say aye. 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 Opposed? The ayes have it. She is excused. Councilmember Mosqueda.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to move to be excused on Monday, December 17th.
It's been moved and seconded that Councilmember Mosqueda be excused on December 17th. Any comments? All those in favor say aye. 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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Councilmember Mosqueda is excused for the 17th. Any other business come for the council? If not, we stand adjourned. Everyone have a great rest of the day.